The Greek Freak might be out in Milwaukee. Shams Charania reporting that Giannis and his agent are discussing the superstar forward's future with the Milwaukee Bucks. James, it's always a topic of conversation when it comes to Giannis. Is he finally going to demand the trade? If he does, where is it going to go? Are we finally getting to that point, James, where we are going to see a Giannis trade during the season before the trade deadline? And if we do, where do you see him going?
Oh, dude, man, I kid you not. Thinking about Giannis and getting moved from Milwaukee, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm a little heartbroken because when Giannis won that title with the Bucks versus the Suns, man, dude, I thought that was the new age era where it's like the Bucks are just gonna run shop for the next couple years. But since their moves they've made, getting rid of Jrue Holiday, trying to get Dame Lillard, not being able to hold Chris Middleton with health, and just what they've done personally, like on the offseason side of making moves for Giannis, they've just failed. And they did what did they think by bringing in Miles Turner? I have no idea. You just put all these big guys together and think they'll win. It's not the age of the game now. It's just not. And I think the Bucks have to make this move because one, they just didn't get no value for Jrue Holiday. They didn't really get any value getting rid of Dame Lillard after his Achilles tear. So right now, man, this is your Bucks are 11th in the freaking Eastern Conference at 10-13. You might as well trade and get a freaking OKC package like they did when they traded away Paul George to the Clippers. That's what you're looking at. Something like that, maybe a little bit more. But I'm with you, Spence. I didn't expect this to happen. But if you're asking me who I think Giannis will go to. Now, of course, we always hear the ugly rumor that he'll be a Golden State Warrior. We've heard it for years that somehow they'll find a way to get him. I don't see that happening. To be honest, Spence, we talk about this all the time. What team could really trade, for Giannis? And we joke about the goddamn Thunder. They can because they got 18,000 draft picks. Bucks will take that in a heartbeat. But if they did that, I swear I will veto this league if somehow Giannis went to OKC. But in all honesty, Spence, you could definitely get some picks back for some of the players that you trade for. If I was the LA Clippers, I would try if I was the Clippers. Get rid of Kawhi. You know me, man. Get rid of Kawhi, man.
Well, why would
That's
the
number
Bucks do that though?
to I would assume the Clippers would only be able to trade players off. But then again,
They'd
we're
have to
talking
involve multiple teams. We'd have
yeah,
talking 3 or 4 team deal.
yeah, we're talking 3 or 4 teams, but Spence, I'm looking at the top of the list. OKC is the only team that has draft capital to do it.
Oh God, that would be horrifying.
The Lakers would not be a team I see that can find a way, but yeah, you never know. They might be able to trade Bronny and Max Kluber for Giannis straight up. You might get
Hey,
lucky.
Nico Harrison ain't the GM in Milwaukee. All right, I
but
don't think that one's going on.
but no, I'm looking at a lot of these teams. I don't know who because I'm looking at what you're going to have to trade. And unless you think an Eastern Conference team is going to trade for Giannis, I don't think the Bucks will do that. You know how that always happens. You ship them to the other side of the conference and see what happens. But Spence, I would love to hear who you think should trade for him because I'm stuck at only OKC because of draft capital.
I'll give you one, and it's the one that's been most reportedly linked to him for a while, and that's the New York Knicks. The report that came out over the summer that they were willing to give up Cat, OG Anunoby, and a bunch of picks for Giannis. They're willing to go all in to pair Giannis with Jalen Brunson. And I think that makes the most sense. According to Kalshi odds, they are the highest odds. Besides, after that, actually, the Knicks at 45%. After that would be actually him reconciling and staying with the Bucks. But then there's another team after that. And I think this is a very interesting one. And I actually do think they'd have the draft capital and assets to do this if they choose. And it would terrify me as a Rockets fan. How about the San Antonio Spurs? If they put together a package of you put Castle, you put maybe they ask for Dylan Harper also, and then some picks, but you can pair Giannis and Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox. Well, although I think maybe De'Aaron Fox is going to have to be in that deal to make the money work.
Yeah.
So let's call it De'Aaron Fox, Stephon Castle, and some picks. But then you keep Dylan Harper. You give him the full-time point guard role, and you have
Right.
Wembanyama and Giannis. That could
Dude,
break the league. That could
Dude,
break the lead.
nobody would score in the paint. I'd be shocked if anyone scored in the paint with Giannis and Wemby in there. And yeah, I'm with you. It would be something that the Spurs would have to really think about because right now, man, you mentioned they're the 4 seed in the West, so they're on the rise like we've kind of expected, maybe a little bit later than we wanted because we thought last year was going to be the year with Wemby. But do you see a team like maybe Phoenix trying to pair with Booker? Just because I know they've got Jalen Green and I know they got Dylan Brooks. But in my eye, when I see Giannis getting traded, I just don't know how the good teams can do it. So I'm looking at the middle of the pack. And the T Wolves can't do it unless they're going to trade their 2050 first round picks after they
Right.
traded all of them for Rudy Gobert earlier. So maybe there's some teams that I just don't like. If the Knicks wanted to, but would you want to trade now your full depth for the Knicks for Giannis? Obviously, Giannis is, we'll call it better than Cat, better than OG Anobi. But man, what the Knicks have been doing so far on a efficient scale, besides the old ways with Tom Thibodeau, now with Mike Brown, like what about a team like Orlando?
That's an interesting one. They
Because
definitely have some established young stars that you could throw in a trade. They have picks galore. I think that'd be an interesting one, but Orlando,
I know
Orlando getting
Magic,
Giannis, man.
Orlando Magic,
Yeah,
bro.
some other another team that is on the Kalshi odds that is an interesting one to me. It's not one that I expected to see here, to be honest, but it's the Atlanta Hawks. But the whole idea here is they have DeJounte Murray, and they have a lot of capital as well. They have a lot of picks that they can trade. Maybe they throw in former first overall pick Zachary Richard. Maybe they get him in that deal as well. Other teams that have, just to list them out, that have odds. Mentioned the Knicks, the Bucks, the Spurs, the Hawks. You mentioned the Lakers earlier and the Warriors, but also the Miami Heat are on here. Pat Riley always is going to be in the conversation for a
Yeah.
superstar. But I think I'm kind of with you. Just the fact that it's the middle of the season right now, I don't know how many teams are going to be willing to deplete their team's depth in the middle of a season unless they really just are going to go for it. I think if I was going to bet on this market on Kalshi, which not a sponsor, they totally could sponsors if they want to.
Yeah, come on, Kalshi. What's up, big dogs?
I think he ends up staying with the Bucks. I could, just because also the way that Shams worded his report, it's like they're considering his future in Milwaukee. It's not even an outright trade demand yet. So I think it ends up getting worked out with Milwaukee. They're not going to do anything this year, even in a wide open Eastern Conference, but who knows? Maybe they do figure something out and they can get gelling, because again, the Eastern Conference is wide open. You pretty much just got the Pistons, the Raptors, and the Knicks, really, that are going to be in the mix to come out of the Eastern Conference. If the Bucks can figure it out down the stretch in February, March, and April, I think they could get it figured out. So I'm not hitting the panic alarm if I'm the Bucks yet, but if they do, I think it's gonna be the Knicks or the Spurs.
Wow. I would be shocked if they traded within the conference, so I'd have to go with the Spurs off of your top 2 picks. Yeah, and again, I don't see him going with the conference, but if I had to go off the wall, I'm gonna go Orlando Magic, and then I will go for the West, the Phoenix Suns. I don't know how they do it, but their GM is definitely, obviously he traded for KD. That didn't work out, but you know how my beliefs are with KD. That's another thing for another day. I could see something like Giannis going to Phoenix. It'd be crazy though. He'd be the big cactus there, like Shaq. But no,
Cactus.
if he doesn't get traded this year, and it's going to be an off-season thing because I'm pretty sure, no doubt, Smith. I bet me and you agree. If Giannis said he would get traded during the offseason, I could see these teams depleting their roster because they don't know what to expect. Heck, like you mentioned, did we expect the Pistons to go 17-5? No, but I'm pretty sure if they'd offer enough in the offseason before 17-5, they would have done the trade. But now they're like, damn, we're gelling. Why would I trade my whole depth and my future for a player, yeah, who's going to bring in box office, but am I going to win with this guy? Because we find it funny. Remember, Spence, the old, I feel weird saying the old era of the NBA where we just build up super teams. And now we're looking at, for example, Eastern Conference, you got the Pistons number 1, Raptors number 2, Heat number 3. Like, who on God thought that was going to happen? West, we could have probably predicted some of that, you know. OKC, the champ. Lakers got LeBron and Luka. KD's on the Rockets. Spurs is the surpriser, but then yeah, you got the Nuggets, Timberwolves. So the East is the one that's more interesting in my eye.
Yeah, because all those stars in the East tore their Achilles last year, and
Heck
it's
yeah.
just opened things up. But y'all let us know in the comments, should Giannis be traded? And if he does get traded, where should he be sent off to? Y'all let us know, and make sure y'all subscribe to Big Game Energy. We post brand new sports content on the daily. Give us a follow, give us a sub, and we will see y'all next time.